Begin the gathering attached to a band with one piece of 7x7 and one piece of 3x5. Start by using a stitch length of 5 and stitch one row of stitching at the 1/4 inch mark. Stitching 1/4 inch away from that, stitch another row of gathering stitches. Be sure to leave yourself a long enough tail. It's sometimes helpful to tie the top 2 threads together and or the top 2 bottom threads together. This will help them stay separate. With the right sides together, finger press the band in half and mark with a pin. Do the same for the bottom part of the fabric. Now, placing the band with the right side on top of the right side of the fabric, pin that middle point. Continue to pin by pinning each of the edges together. If you were doing this with a larger piece of fabric, you would divide the 2 pieces of fabric into more fractions. For example, you might divide it into quarters, or eighths, or sixteenths. Continuing to pin on the fabric, you will now pull 2 of the gathering threads together, either the bottom 2 or the top 2. It's important that you choose either the top or the bottom 2 threads. Using your fingers to evenly disperse the gathers, begin to pin. You can use as many or as few pins as you'd like. Continue this process of taking either the 2 top threads or the 2 bottom threads and pull them until they are the distance of the band. Adjust the gathers as necessary and pin once more. The 2 layers of fabric are now the same width. Returning your stitch length back to a 2.5 or a 3, begin with the back stitch and continue straight stitching. I always like to stitch on the gathering part of the fabric so that I can make sure I'm not making any large pleats or tucks unnecessarily. Remove the pins as you go and backstitch at the end. Press the gathers flat with the band facing up. Flip the fabric over and make sure that the seams are pressed all the way open. Fold the fabric to the top of the band. Press flat, and then fold once more. This will encase the fabric entirely. Be sure that when you press this, you are staying a consistent distance. You can measure the outside and make sure that it's staying all the way around and adjust as necessary. Now, taking your pins, you will do the pin-through method where you will pin in the ditch, go through the back side, and come back out. You want to be sure that the position where the ditch is and the position where you're putting the pin through is the same distance. There should be about 1/8 of an inch of seam allowance on the inside of the garment. Now, stitching in the ditch, begin with a back stitch and continue to stitch exactly where the point where the fabric and the band meet. Remove the pins as you go. And end with a back stitch. You've now completing your gathering to a band. You may clip the gathering stitches as soon as you are happy with the final product.